You know, I've had a lot of issues with charging electronics. It's really tough finding stuff that's safe enough to charge, like retro electronics, like my modded Game Boy Advance SP. It just requires a simple charger, and a high-speed one can do damage to devices like this. Electronics are becoming pretty simple. There's so many that have USB-C, from controllers to my favorite powerful gaming handheld, and even my editing laptop, the G14 2025 edition. You can use USB-C to charge all of them. So the problem became, how do I take my X86 handhelds, big laptops, and of course retro electronics or emulation handhelds, or just any of my devices, and safely charge them all? How can I charge all of these at once without having tons of USB-C cables and USB fast charging cables running up the back of the shelf? Trust me, I've done that before. I think I had like 4 or 5 of them at once and it looked horrible. So when Sabrent reached out asking if I wanted to try something, they had me very intrigued. This here is the Sabrent 242 watt 8-port USB charger. It's even got a color LED readout showing the charging speeds. It says it supports power delivery to laptops. It has USB-C and USB-A for some of those older devices. So my goal is simple. Can this effectively replace everything that I have with one solution? I think it might. As you guys know, I'm kind of like an optimistic realist. Looking at the specs of this, it looks like it should work. The realist in me wants to see it in action, so let's just hop in. This was sent from Sabrent. As with all my reviews, the company is not seeing this video beforehand. They have no input into what I'm saying. And of course, I'm here to give you my honest thoughts to what I think about it. So let's start with opening up the box. What's inside? To my fellow Canadians as well, this was shipped from the US using DHL. I didn't get any import fees when I got it, which is a little odd. Usually we get a little bit of import fees importing things into Canada. But I'll leave a comment down below if I have any import charges later. So while I'm opening this, how much exactly is it? Well, Sabrent lists this on sale on their website currently for $89.99. Considering the cost of USB-C chargers, I think that's a pretty fair price for what it is. I think you're like effectively getting 2 high-quality USB-C chargers in one package. A lot of those USB-C chargers as well only have 3 USB ports. And these only have 140 watts of output. Even with some of the fastest chargers like this Aohi, to get that level of ports, you'd have to buy, 2 of these, and then you'd still be missing 2 USB-As. Not exactly ideal. You'd be spending over double. In the box, we got, of course, the charger itself, and this thing is like a brick. It's an absolute unit of a charger. On the back, you get like a wall adapter, so you can connect this and kind of like hang that on the wall, then just lock it in place. I guess that's kind of nice actually. If I have a stud on the wall, I'm going to try putting this onto that. If not, I'm going to have to try to find a way to MacGyver this on there. The only other thing getting in the package is of course the power cable. They do also send a bag of screws and drywall anchors, just in case you need to anchor this onto the wall. It also looks like there's some adhesive maybe on the sides. I'm not going to take this off as I don't really want to adhere this to my office wall. On the top, you have a ventilation port and you can see some massive heat sinks in this thing. That's probably where a lot of the weight comes from. On the bottom, you got that power port and a Kensington lock. There's of course nothing on the sides. All right, should we do the peel? Let's do the peel. Nice. I think we should plug this into some electronics and see how it handles the power distribution. Let's just start off with some low-powered stuff first. For the cable, I want something true and tested, something I know is going to support up to 240 watts. I only have a few of these really good cables, and this is the best one out of the bunch. It's the Aohi The Future Adonis USB 4 cable. This supports 120 gigabits per second, 8K video signal with power delivery 3.2 and 240 watts power delivery. If the device supports fast charging, this is going to max it out. Let's turn it on. There's a little display that pops up shows us all the different charging wattages. Let's try USB-C. I'm going to test some low power devices too. Let's start things off with a bang. The MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. This should go up to 60 watts. However, mine is pretty much full, so I don't think it's going to go up to the max wattage. Yes, I'm at 92%, so it does slow down as it gets closer to full. But this gets me optimistic because I'm seeing upwards of like 50 watts. So it's definitely a good start. Charging your X86 handhelds. Nice. This is going to be a scary one because I can't replace this device. Oh, it's already fully charged. I probably won't be able to get much going through this. This is my Odin 3, but it's at 99%, but it is charging. These are similar in the fact that they will slow down as they get closer to full. So Android handhelds, they look pretty safe. But let me try another one. I was going to show you my Thor, but that's full too. I'm just a little too efficient with charging my devices. Here's one that's not fully charged. This is the Retroid Pocket G2. Nice. Well, that one's charging. Let's try a device from a brand that's not really known well for good charging. Well, that is interesting. That is weird. So my Aya Neo looks like it's about 60%, but it is not charging. That's not ideal. This is a weird handheld. At this point, I just think I'd get cursed devices for my Neo. Should I risk my little Miyoo Mini Flip? I'm gonna trust Sabrent. The reason I think this one is not working is these only charge with USB-A to USB-C. Let me grab a USB-A cable. See how low that charge is too? That's really good to see because that means that this is safe enough for things like keyboards, controllers, or even cheap emulation handhelds. Let's try it with the controller. And it is charging. So the only one I haven't got working is the Aya Neo. Just for curiosity's sake, I'm wondering if it'll work with the USB-A. Ah, there you go. The Aya Neo is working. It just doesn't work with the USB-C to C. That's bizarre. I plugged it into the USB-C after checking with the USB-A, and now it's charging. Okay, well, the Aya Neo works. Do you guys want to try some higher powered devices? Maybe like a laptop or a power bank? This is my favorite power bank to take on the go, mainly because it's high capacity and it still does 65 watt charging. Not fast enough for a laptop, but fast enough for any handheld or phone. It says this should support 45 watts. Perfect, right on the dot. 45.6. Let's up the ante just a little. With my 2023 G14, that is working. Let me put up a load on this just to see if it can push that any further. I am seeing this jump up to about 90 watts, but it is jumping around. I'm going to put CPU Z on there. I'm just putting a stress test on it right now. 80 watts is pretty decent. I'm still seeing on G Helper that it is charging at 15 watts too. Let me try loading up a graphically intensive game. I'm gonna load up Metal Eden. Can't really flip this around to show you guys. It's kind of hard with the laptop on a small desk. 94. Okay, there you go. 99 watts. 99.9. 100. That's about how much this laptop can do. It's only meant to charge 100 watts over that USB-C port. Let's get Metal Eden going on the Claw. I'm gonna charge the Miyoo Mini Flip. Actually, you know what? Let's see if it's safe enough for a modded Game Boy Advance SP. It is. Look. Oh, that's perfect. That means I'll be able to use this for everything. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty impressed. Even the charging station itself is really cool. It's not hot at all. Should we test and see if every charging port works? There's the G2. I'm going to run out of USB cables. Let's plug in my Redmi K90 Pro Max. Xiaomi's kind of picky with their charging. It shows up as using their turbocharger. I mean, it's handling the load really well. I don't know, guys. I'm pretty impressed. You know, having something like this to just charge everything at once is just going to make my life so much easier. High-end chargers can be a little finicky. I had this SharGeek sent over from Charge, and the 140 watt port on it broke. Only this one and this one work. You know, these are expensive, but if you're charging at home anyways, these just make a lot of sense. Just being able to plug everything into it. Just look at that thing going to town, charging everything at once. What do I think about a charging station like this? What's the viability of it? For me, someone that has a lot of electronic devices, I get home, I gotta charge my laptop, I gotta charge my tablet, I gotta charge my phone, I gotta charge a handheld if I brought one. If I'm using some of the lower powered devices or maybe one of the controllers, you got all the ports to do everything. It's essentially a one-stop charging solution. I'm ecstatic to have this in my office. Just charging devices all in one go instead of having cables running up the back. Now I got one cable going up the back of that shelf, and I can charge everything with just the right amount of cable size that I need. I don't need huge cables running everywhere. This has cleaned up my handheld shelf, and I cannot recommend it enough. If you're in the market for a charger, there's a lot of good ones out there. I've been using this for nearly everything, including my laptop. But this is the same price as this, at least while it's on sale. And there's a coupon code too. If you're interested in picking up one of these, you can use my coupon code. They said it'll be active for a month from the time of the video being posted. So if you want one and you want to use that coupon, definitely recommend picking it up. Even after all that extensive charging with more than one device, it's still really cool. I like it, guys. I think it's pretty neat. This is going to really simplify my charging. And I know a lot of you guys out there have way more than one handheld too. I'm not the only one. Is this something that you need? Make sure to check it out. I know this one was a little different, but this really mattered to me. I needed something like this, and I can see the viability of something like this for a lot of people in the community. We collect handhelds. We collect electronics. Lately, in the last couple years, maybe not so much. But I know there's someone out there that needs something exactly like this. So what do you think of Sabrent's new charging station? Is this your one and done solution for charging? I know for me, if I'm at home, this is what I'm going to be using. If you have any questions regarding the charging station from Sabrent, make sure to leave a comment down below and I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. Did you buy one of these and what do you think of it so far? As always, thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you in the next one.